Today we're back looking at more posts from r/I'm at a-hole, and trust me, some of these are juicy. I'm at a a-hole for taking up 2 seats on a bus. I ride the bus because I can't afford a car, insurance, gas, etc. I'm a 19-year-old female and live in the US for context. A couple days ago I was on a bus that wasn't that busy. Not empty, but there were multiple unused seats and no one had to stand. I'd just gone shopping and had heavy bags that were hard to carry and hardly fit in front of my legs. So I sat in one seat and placed my bags in the seat next to me, essentially taking up 2 seats of my own. Since it wasn't crowded when I got on, I didn't see an issue, and like I said, the bags were super heavy and hard to carry, so I wanted to set them down. The bus ride was kind of long, and as it went on, more and more people got on the bus. It eventually got pretty crowded to the point where some people had to stand up. I'm hoping that you gave some people your seat, like you're taking up 2 seats, put your bag on the floor. I didn't ever move my bag or offer the seat to someone. In my experience, most people don't want to sit next to strangers anyway, and a lot of the time people will end up standing instead of sitting in an empty seat next to someone they don't know. Also, no one said anything to me. At the last stop, someone passively aggressively told me you could have moved your bag and not been inconsiderate and rude. Everyone wants to sit, not just you, or something along those lines. I didn't really respond because I didn't know what to say. The person who said that never asked me to move my stuff, and if they did, I probably would have. So I don't understand how I was being rude. They could have asked during the ride instead of insulting me after it was already done. Buses are genuinely first come, first serve, so I think my behavior was normal. I'm an a-hole. Okay, so if the bus wasn't super busy and like there were loads of free seats, no, you're not the a-hole. However, if there's a lot of people on the bus and like people have to stand and you're taking up an extra seat, I'm gonna say you are a bit of an a-hole. Look, I can understand people maybe don't want to be an inconvenience, you know, say, oh, can you move your bags? However, in the future, maybe the smart thing to do would maybe like give the person the seat. I mean, the seats are there to be sat on, not for your bags. You're the a-hole. If there is no seat, move your effing bag, lol. How can you ride it and think you are? Yeah, I'm with that person. It's like, oh, you really do seem like one. Wow, I really thought it would be another one where some creep made her move her bags when there were empty seats because he wanted to sit next to the young girl. Nope, as soon as the bus fills up, you move your stuff. You might rather stand, but many people would rather sit. Also, you do have to keep in mind, if like the bus is kind of empty, of course I'm not going to sit right beside somebody, but if it's completely filled, like there's 1 or 2 seats, of course I'm going to take the seat. You kind of have to. So overall, I'm going to have to say you are a bit of an a-hole. Sorry. I'm an a-hole for not wanting to go to my brother-in-law's daughter's memorial birthday because he makes grief a competition. I, 20 female, don't get along with my brother-in-law. BIL means brother-in-law, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. He's been with my sister for 6 years, and it's only recently that our relationship has gone down the drain. For some context, when John was 19, him and his ex-girlfriend Jane were having a baby. Fortunately, she died at 2 months old due to severe birth complication. John and Jane broke up, but every year on the baby's birthday they meet up for lunch. Since meeting my sister, John also throws a small gathering for the family to come to. Obviously, none of us met the baby, but it's more for support since Jane moved countries and he doesn't have much family. When I was 16, my boyfriend died. It was very sudden and nothing could have predicted it. One day he was here, the next he wasn't. I'm in therapy and grief counselling. That right there is a massive fear of mine. I have a fear that someone really close to me is going to randomly die, because with death you don't know when it's going to come. Everyone knows they're eventually going to die, but you don't know if it could be today, tomorrow, in a year, 20 years. Imagine being 16 and your boyfriend dies. That is traumatizing. The issue is that in the past 2 years, John has turned grief into a competition, which really hurts because I used to look up to him as a role model, especially when it came to grief and moving on. But he can't just let me be sad about my boyfriend. He has to bring up how he lost a child, which is so much worse. I'm starting to put the pieces together to understand this John guy, and he's just the worst type of person. I feel like he's the type of person where you could be like, oh, I'm having a fantastic day, and he'd be like, well, I'm not. And it's like he kind of just like dampens the mood. I don't understand why anyone would want to play the grief Olympics. It's kind of like the oppression Olympics. It's like people want to say that they're more oppressed than other people and like make it a competition. I don't understand it. Now, I want to be clear, I've never lost a child. I've never been pregnant or lost a pregnancy, so I cannot pretend to know what it feels like, but I'm sick of him lording it over me. For example, there was a period of time last year where I lost my appetite, and John says when I lost my baby I couldn't eat either. I had lost part of me, you lost a person. You weren't connected, so it's not as bad. You both lost somebody. Why is he making it a competition? Party is happening in early June and I'm invited, but I told my mum and sister I don't want to go and explained why. My mum and sister got very upset and said I was making a mountain out of a molehill and I need to put this pettiness behind me for John. They both said it would be douchey of me not to come. I'm an a-hole. I'm gonna say you're not the a-hole. At the end of the day, John's obviously taking it out on you. I think that's what's going on. You two should actually be more connected than ever if you can both relate to like losing somebody very close to you. He lost his child, that's awful. You lost your boyfriend, that's awful. However, he's making it a competition and I don't understand why. He shouldn't make it a competition. He should actually use it to connect with you more. You can both relate to it. So John has turned his grief into an annual fanatical event and forces your entire family to attend his captive audience. Sounds super performative and disgusting, not the a-hole. Okay, I do think that was a bit cruel. I don't know, the John guy could be very, very soft. It could be a very supporting family. I don't have an issue with that. I've got an issue with the fact that he's trying to use it as a competition with you. I never thought of it that way. The lunch with his ex always seemed super sweet and private, and the parties only started after she moved away, so I assumed it was for support. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm starting to look at it in a different way as well. Like, does the ex know about the parties? Does she go to the parties? He doesn't want support, he wants attention. Milking the situation so people feel bad for him. time. I lost a pregnancy, it hurts, it really does, but I would never turn it into an anniversary where I go out to eat with my ex and bring her family into it too. It's horrible, don't go. If he doesn't care about your loss and feelings, you don't need to do the same. Not the a-hole, and I'm sorry, this is your family. I mean, yeah, I'm starting to agree with that person. Like a party. What type of party is it? It's not like a birthday party, it's obviously gonna be like a sad one. I don't know, it's like I can understand, you know, remembering people. However, I'm interested if you flip the script and you done an event for your boyfriend who died, would he come? Would he be supportive? Everyone on Reddit says you're not the a-hole. I don't think you're the a-hole, but I think John's a bit of an a-hole. I'm an a-hole for not getting my wife anything in Mother's Day. I think we all know the answer. I, 34 male, did not buy or get anything for my wife on Mother's Day, and let me explain why. My wife and her friend planned a trip to the beach for 4 days, which fell on Mother's Day. So I thought to myself, since I am watching the kids while she's gone, that would count as a gift, and she wouldn't be here to celebrate that day and would get home that night on Mother's Day. I'm sorry, what? No, that's not comparable. She gets home and realizes that I didn't do anything for her, and later tells me that she is upset. A message was received loud and clear. I tried to explain my reason and thought process, but she didn't agree, so I'm an a-hole. I mean, of course you are. I don't know what type of thoughts you were thinking. Obviously the process wasn't working. You should scrap that process in the future. I'm not really the most creative whenever it comes to birthdays and, like, you know, Mother's Day and presents. I'll just get the person a card and like some money. But you could at least got her like a card of chocolate. You know, that would be a start. You're the a-hole. Taking care of the kids should be part of your regular duties, not a present gift. They hit the nail on the head. You taking care of your kids isn't a gift. Like, that's not your way of saying thank you for being a mother. That's what you should do as a parent, full stop. So yeah, it looks like you are an a-hole, my darling. I'm an a-hole for sending my last goodbyes to a kid I used to nanny for. I, 28 female, have been the nanny to this sweet little kid Franny for the past 3 years. She's honestly such an angel, and I was super lucky to get to take care of her since we get along well and she's never really started any trouble. It was also nice since they live in the same apartment complex as me. Oh god, that's gonna be a bit awkward for the future, isn't it? I'm gonna assume that the parent's gonna be a bit of a Karen in this story. It's like, it's fact, you're probably gonna have to see them every day after this. Anyways, I recently just started dating again, since then due to a rough breakup. I ran into friends' parents while out on a date with my girlfriend, who made it pretty clear they were uncomfortable that I was gay. Oh, I know exactly where this story's gonna go. Basically, parents are homophobic. Literally that night, I got a sudden text message saying they found a new nanny that worked better for their needs and I wouldn't be welcome in their home again and not to contact them. They literally saying that you were a lesbian and they cut you off. Surely that's illegal. Like, doesn't that go against discrimination laws? I'm still pissed off because we got along all fine until they realized I was a lesbian. Anyways, I went the next morning to question them in person since they live a floor up from me, and so I'd gotten the neighbor to babysit who recognized me and invited me in. I love how the parents thought they could just cut her off like that and she'd never turn up again. You guys live in the same complex, you're gonna run into each other. Fran saw me, so I kind of loosely said I wouldn't be seeing her for a while, but I cared for her very much. I felt that I couldn't just abandon the kid who I've been watching for years now without a reason. Anyways, her parents ended up banging on my door today and yelling me out, saying I went behind their back to manipulate their kid. I'm sorry, what? How are you manipulating their kid? They're not gonna be one of them homophobic parents, are they? Or like they think that like a young girl being around lesbians can make the girl a lesbian. Some parents do it with gay guys, like they see a gay couple and think that their son's gonna turn gay if they're around a gay couple. It's not how it works. Just wanted to hear what people say because I guess I could have emailed cold first asking to see Franny one last time to clear things, but went over in person instead. I mean, I'm gonna say you're not the a-hole. At the end of the day, the parents are homophobic. If we actually deep it, it is quite sad. The minute they found out you were gay, they cut you off. Like, that is discrimination, homophobia. Let's see if Reddit agrees with me. I don't think the parents would have let you say last goodbye, and I think this is exceedingly sad. I am an older lady, and some neighbors who were nice to me, say 60 years ago, I still appreciate and think about occasionally. That is the same with me. Like, sometimes whenever I was growing up, I really liked certain adults just because they were really nice to me, and like I always think about them. I never forgot about them. That's a thing with kids, like they never forget anything. Kids do deserve closure and answers. The other neighbor invited you in and you said goodbye. Personally, I would say not the a-hole. Okay, so this person added a wee edit. The original poster also added an edit basically saying if they didn't pay her for like that week or something like that. But yeah, like I said, you're not the a-hole. As a nanny, I was heartbroken over this story. You get attached to the kids you watch, and it was very cruel that the parents were homophobes who wouldn't let their child say goodbye, because kids get attached too. These parents were a-holes for sure, just for homophobia alone, not the a-hole. It looks like the whole of Reddit is agreeing with me. You're not the a-hole, the parents are the a-holes. And I really hope that child's okay. I kind of feel bad for her growing up in an environment like that. Her parents might be nice, but they're bigots, and I really hope the daughter isn't groomed into a bigot, because that's how kids are like nowadays. Most kids don't care that you're gay. Like, they genuinely don't care. It's the parents that care. And for some reason, I've got a feeling in the back of my head that maybe the parents spoke to the girl about it, saying that being gay is wrong. I really hope they didn't. I'm an a-hole for being embarrassed of my girlfriend's cosplay. My GF had a double mastectomy 5 years ago. She had breast cancer and thankfully made a full recovery. Unlike a lot of women, she didn't have any reconstructive surgery. This was before I met her. I'm a big anime nerd, and last weekend I invited her to a small anime con with me. She's seen a few episodes of my favorite shows, but she's not into anime. She does like cosplay though, as she works seasonally as an SFX artist at a haunted house near us. So when I asked her to go to the con with me, she asked if she could cosplay, and I said sure. her. She got very excited and said I was going to love her costume. So I'll admit I thought she was going to do something sexy for me. Okay, so she's going to a convention. She's probably going to dress up as a character, not as something sexy for you. Well, not exactly. The day of the convention comes and she showed up in my house cosplaying Dabby from MHA. I won't lie, I don't know what that is. I'm going to assume it's some like anime thing. Specifically a look he has later in the magnet. It's a long white coat over white pants, no shirt, her entire chest was exposed and she'd obviously spent hours applying burn makeup. She has short hair that she dyes constantly. This time she bleached it white and dyed a few red streaks. Okay, so by the sounds of it, this girl's went full on with the cosplay. And also cosplay is not easy, it's not like fancy dress. These people usually spend weeks, if not months, designing costumes, putting on the makeup, so I really hope you're not rude to her. I wasn't expecting her to show up without a shirt. Her burn scar makeup only covered half her chest, so you could clearly see her mastectomy scar. It wasn't a very attractive costume, especially since she'd gone all out with the scar and made them look raised and kind of realistic. Isn't that the whole point of cosplay? You're meant to make it look realistic. She's gonna try her best to make it look good, isn't she? Like, she's not gonna try and make it look crap. We went to the con, and while a lot of people came up to take photos with her, I noticed several others looking at her chest. That evening she said I'd been quiet all day, and honestly I told her I was a little embarrassed that she was flaunting her mastectomy scar like that. Okay, I'm not exactly sure the mastectomy scar is. I think it's breast cancer, isn't it? I just looked it up and it's basically whenever a woman has like breast cancer and she has like her boobs removed. But I'm trying to figure out why that's an issue. She got mad and said she was making the best out of her situation and said I was being insensitive, and she's been distanced ever since. I'm starting to feel guilty. I'm an a-hole. Yeah, you are the a-hole. She literally breast cancer, had a mastectomy, and now you're having to go with her for it. If anything, you should be proud that she's showing off her body and being confident. Having a mastectomy and breast cancer, that's like really scary. People die from that. And it's the fact that like you're basically making her feel guilty for dressing up and showing off her scar and like adding stuff to it. You should be proud. Oh, how dare your GF not have a pretty little cosplay outfit. Obviously she has not gotten the message her only worth is if she caters to the male gaze. Yeah, you're the a-hole. For me, being the key phrase here told me everything I need to know about original poster. Yeah, I picked up that entitlement as well. Whenever you go to a convention, you're not going to look sexy for like your partner. I think the whole reason of you going is literally to try to look good for other people, have the best cosplay. I was sold an original poster being an a-hole if she didn't get reconstructive surgery like a lot of other women do. I was fairly certain this post would be about boobies at that point. He's into anime and wanted a sexy costume, then said out loud that she shouldn't show the scars from kicking cancer's ass. I mean, holy crap. You have to remember this woman literally went through cancer. She beat cancer. She has got scars because, you know, she got it basically cut out. And it's the fact that like this guy's basically saying, oh yeah, she should hide the scars and be embarrassed about it. Nah. Own your scars, be proud of it, and be proud that you're a survivor. There could be other women there going through the exact same thing as you. And you know, if they see your scars, they might like feel confident and like reassured. So original poster, you absolutely are the a-hole. Well, anyways guys, that's where I leave that video there. That is r/am the a-hole. We had some good ones and some awful ones, especially that Mother's Day one and that one right there. Like, they were not good. If you want to see me do more am the a-hole videos, let me know. I definitely will. Press that big red subscribe button and see you all tomorrow for another video.